What if the biggest mistake you could make with SCHD and SCHG isn't choosing the wrong ETF, but choosing the wrong percentage? Because these two funds are almost opposites in what they emphasize. One prioritizes dividend-paying companies with strong fundamentals, while the other leans heavily into large-cap growth. And the difference between a 70-30 portfolio and a 30-30-70-70 portfolio could dramatically change your income, growth potential, volatility, and even how you behave when the market drops. Today, we're going to break down what I believe is one of the most practical ways to combine SCHD and SCHG, and why the best mix may not be 50-50. And if you enjoy practical ETF analysis just like this, make sure to subscribe to Financial Literacy Lab, hit the like button, and share this video with someone building a long-term portfolio. Let's start with the basics. SCHD is the Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF. Its goal is to track the Dow Jones U.S. Dividend 100 Index. As of August 2026, SCHD has about 103 holdings and a total expense ratio of just 0.06%. Its trailing distribution yield is around 3.30%, according to Schwab. SCHG, on the other hand, is the Schwab U.S. Large Cap Growth ETF. It tracks the Dow Jones U.S. Large Cap Growth Total Stock Market Index and currently holds about 197 stocks. Its expense ratio is even lower at just 0.04%, but its trailing distribution yield is only about 0.39%. So, right away, you can see the fundamental difference. SCHD is designed more around current income, dividend quality, and value-oriented characteristics. SCHG is designed more around capital appreciation and large cap growth. And that leads to the real question: how much of each should you own? The 50-50 portfolio. The first option is simple: 50% SCHD and 50% SCHG. This is probably the portfolio most investors would naturally consider. Half your money goes toward dividend-oriented companies, while the other half goes toward growth. The advantage is balance. You aren't completely dependent on one investment style. If growth stocks struggle while value and dividend stocks perform well, SCHD can provide some ballast. If dividend stocks lag while technology and other growth companies surge, SCHG can help pull the portfolio forward. But there is one problem. A 50-50-50 allocation may sound balanced, but it doesn't necessarily mean your risk exposure is balanced. SCHG's portfolio is substantially more growth-oriented and currently has a higher valuation profile. As of June 2026, Schwab reported a price-to-earnings ratio of roughly 33.15 for SCHG, compared with about 18.41 for SCHD. SCHG also had a higher 3-year standard deviation, about 16.75% versus 13.32% for SCHD. So even though you're splitting your money equally, the two halves aren't behaving the same way. The growth-first portfolio: 30% SCHD, 70% SCHG. Now, let's consider a 30-70 portfolio: 30% SCHD, 70% SCHG. This is the portfolio I'd consider for an investor whose primary objective is long-term capital growth, rather than maximizing current income. Why? Because you're giving the growth engine more room to work. Imagine investing $10,000. With 70% SCHG, you'd have $7,000 positioned toward large cap growth and $3,000 toward SCHD. You would sacrifice some dividend income today, but you're potentially increasing your exposure to companies capable of producing substantial earnings and revenue growth over long periods. The downside is that you need to be comfortable watching the portfolio fall more aggressively when growth stocks are out of favor. And that's important. The best portfolio isn't the one that looks fantastic on paper. It's the one you can actually hold through a difficult market. The balanced growth portfolio: 40% SCHD, 60% SCHG. This is my favorite starting point for many investors who want both growth and income. 40% SCHD, 60% SCHG. Why not 50-50? Because I think a slight tilt toward growth makes sense for investors who still have many years before they need the money. You're maintaining a meaningful dividend component without allowing income to dominate the portfolio. And there's another interesting feature. The two ETFs have different valuation characteristics and different portfolio construction methodologies. SCHD emphasizes dividend sustainability and fundamental strength. SCHG emphasizes large cap growth. That means the combination isn't simply doubling down on exactly the same investment philosophy. You're effectively creating a style barbell. One side emphasizes cash generation and shareholder distributions. The other emphasizes reinvestment and future growth. That can make the combination more interesting than simply owning two broad market ETFs with heavy overlap. But what about 70% SCHD and 30% SCHG? Now let's flip the portfolio. 70% SCHD and 30% SCHG. This allocation makes more sense for investors who prioritize income, lower volatility, and dividend exposure. SCHD's current distribution yield is dramatically higher than SCHG's. But here's the catch. A high dividend yield doesn't automatically mean higher total returns. A company can pay a large dividend while its stock price grows slowly or even declines. That's why I would never choose between SCHD and SCHG simply by asking, which one pays more? The better question is, what job do I want this money to perform? If the job is generating income today, SCHD becomes more attractive. If the job is maximizing long-term growth, SCHG deserves a larger allocation. And if the job is doing both, that's where the combination becomes powerful. By the way, if you're finding this comparison useful, comment below with your preferred mix: 70-30, 60-40, 40, 50-50, 40-60, or 30-70. I want to see which allocation investors actually prefer. The portfolio I would choose. If I were building a simple 2 ETF portfolio specifically around SCHD and SCHG, my starting point would be 60% SCHG and 40% SCHD. Here's why. First, I want growth to be the primary engine. Second, I still want a meaningful dividend component. Third, I don't want to become so aggressive that a major growth stock correction causes me to panic and sell. Think of SCHG as the accelerator and SCHD as the stabilizer. You need enough accelerator to build wealth, but you also need enough stabilizer to stay invested. And there's a practical advantage to this allocation. The weighted expense ratio would be approximately 0.048%. That's less than 5 cents per year for every $100 invested before considering trading costs or taxes. On a $100,000 portfolio, that's roughly $40 per year in fund expenses. So you're getting a highly diversified 2 ETF strategy at an extremely low ongoing cost. But remember, low fees don't make an investment automatically good. The portfolio's underlying exposure, valuation, diversification, and your own time horizon still matter. The secret weapon, rebalancing. Here's where I think many investors miss the opportunity. Don't simply choose 60-40 and forget about it. Consider using rebalancing. Suppose you start with 60% SCHG and 40% SCHD. After several years of strong growth stock performance, SCHG could become 70% of the portfolio. Instead of chasing what has already performed well, you could rebalance back toward your target. That forces you to systematically sell a portion of what has become relatively larger and add to what has become relatively smaller. In other words, you're creating a simple rule that can help control your emotions. You don't need to predict which ETF will win next year. You simply maintain your desired balance. And that's one of the biggest advantages of a 2 ETF strategy. Simplicity creates discipline. So, which SCHD and SCHG combination is the ultimate portfolio mix? There isn't one universal answer. For aggressive long-term growth, you could consider 70% SCHG and 30% SCHD. For a more balanced approach, 60% SCHG and 40% SCHD is a compelling starting point. For a true middle ground, 50-50-50 keeps the strategy extremely simple. And for investors prioritizing income and a more value-oriented profile, 60% SCHD and 40% SCHG or even 70-30 may make more sense. But here's the bigger lesson. Don't choose your allocation based on which ETF won last year. Choose it based on what you need your portfolio to accomplish, how much volatility you can tolerate, and how long you can stay invested. Because the ultimate portfolio isn't the one with the perfect allocation. It's the one that gives you enough growth to build wealth, enough diversification to manage different market environments, and enough confidence to stay invested when things get uncomfortable. If you enjoyed this analysis, like this video, subscribe to Financial Literacy Lab and share it with another investor deciding between SCHD and SCHG. And finally, comment below. If you had 100,000 to invest today, would you choose 70-30, 60-40, 50-50, 40-60, or 30-70? I'll see you in the next video. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any investment.